YouTube is a cancer, in my opinion, like in terms of what it's become from the standpoint of a creator. Now, that might be a tad bit dramatic, especially for someone who's just started creating on this platform, but it's been a few months, and it's bad enough that someone in the position I'm in could easily figure that out, right? Now, I'm going to spare a lot of the detail because I want this video to be relatively brief, and sorry if I don't come across as comically as I would like to, but basically I'm going to be making some changes to the content that I'll be releasing moving forward. This is entirely because of how YouTube operates with its policies and approach to copyright law and fair use and all that, right? There's a lot of things that I wanted to do and that I thought I could do that I just won't be able to do them anymore, right? Now, there's a video on my channel titled Avatar: The Last Airbender, an Introduction. I'll put the link in the description because it actually still exists, right? Now, in that video, I talk about my love for the series. I give details on my plans to review the entire series Avatar, from the beginning to the end in my own style, using the chibi figure that you see on the screen right now. That would be a stand-in for myself, and the plan was to go through each episode discussing the plot, how the overall narrative was being shaped, and then give my opinions on the character, story, and other relative aspects of the show, right? I did a lot of research on channels that make anime and animation focused content. Mostly my favorite ones, you know, like Getting the Robot, Afro Senju, Nux Taku, all those guys, before I started, because even for someone unexperienced in content creation, I knew that copyright claims could be the death of a video, right? At this point, I'd made a few minor AMVs for my original songs and had some of them claimed on. Now, some of those claims I won, and well, others not so much. So I understood how quick and devastating it could be if someone thought your content looked a bit too much like theirs, to put it simply. Now, just to put this out there early, monetization was never an issue for me. Like, my channel is new and small, and quite frankly, with the videos I've made and the ones I wanted to make, I hope that I get to the point where I could make money, but then it was never about the revenue, right? It was more about the content that I wanted to create and the exposure I was hoping it could bring. If a video got demonetized instead of blocked, it was a blessing, in my opinion, because at least people would be able to see it, right? AMVs were hard enough to make, and it sucked when those got blocked. So if I was going to be stepping up the extent of my content, I wanted to make sure it wouldn't be for nothing, right? So I had everything I needed to make videos, having an in-house studio and a Mac. I spent hours learning new features on iMovie to make professional looking videos, right? And I wrote my first script. Now, I recorded, I made the video, and it was only like 5 minutes long, but the collective effort was like a day or two's worth since I did all the audio and video recording on my own and all the editing. I put it up in the style I had chosen to go with, and guess what? No blocks. Like, there wasn't even a single claim, so I figured that my style of video must be perfect, like I was in the clear. Now, I keep referencing my style of content, so I guess I should explain what that means. Basically, I hired an artist to create these images of me. It was The Wandering Artist on Fiverr. My plan was to write the script, to do with some form of content that I wanted to cover, then obtain footage of that thing, which would be muted and played in the background when I needed to give context to what I was saying. Now, in some places, I might leave it unmuted, but this was rare and it would always be brief. It would mostly just be me giving my own original opinions on a pre-existing body of work. Now, wherever possible, I'd pay for the content because, I mean, of course. Using Avatar as an example, I bought the entire box set on iTunes, and then I also bought an app to descramble them so they'd actually be usable in videos. So I put together the relevant parts of the episodes that I'd be talking about, interchanged with blank screens based on what I was saying in the video. Then I layered a background behind the edited footage. I got that idea from Getting the Robot because it just looks so clean, you know, and also more fair use like. And after that, I'd go through and plaster my images of myself, frame by frame, to fit the tone of what I was saying. Then last, I take the whole finished product, put some music behind it, and voila, finished video that I could then upload. Now, that process takes a long time because I have to watch the whole anime, write the script episode by episode, record my voice over and over until it sounds right, then edit my recording, sift through hours of anime footage to find the right clips to use for the right moments in the video, and then I have to add white panels to avoid playing the anime unbroken for too long, even if it's all muted, and then mix it together with the music and upload it, right? For a 5-minute video, like I said, this was about 2 days for someone with no experience. Not too bad, right? For the 20-minute video I'd planned to make to start my Avatar series, well, it took me days. I want to say weeks even, because I didn't do it all at once. I recorded over and over, working on it tirelessly on my breaks at work, on the train, at night when I got home, and then finally, I finished it, right? I was so proud of it. I put it up, shared it with some friends, and almost immediately it got blocked in most countries of the world. Obviously, I contested this on the grounds of fair use. In my view, even though I had used footage from the original Avatar series, I had altered it so significantly to the point that it became something new. And it wasn't a replacement or competitor for the original. I created a review style of content, and someone looking to get a feel for the story and dynamics of the characters, as well as the music, the art direction, voice acting, etc. They just wouldn't be able to get that watching my video. All they'd hear is me moaning about how much I hate Katara. In my view, I more than satisfied the requirements put up by YouTube for fair use, but the claimants felt otherwise. No explanation, and just like that, the video was blocked. And at that point, rather than appeal, I tried to fix the specific section of the video that had been claimed on. I went through the editing process again. I removed the section and replaced it with a white screen, the whole section that they didn't like, and I uploaded it again. They just claimed a different part was an issue though. They just claimed on a different part of the video this time. We went through this process about 5 times, with each upload taking 3 hours on my crappy Wi-Fi, until I finally decided to appeal their rejection of my claim. Now, I still don't even know the implications of it. They just make it seem so daunting on YouTube when you want to appeal something. It's almost like it's to scare creators away from appealing. But days passed and I thought I was in the clear once it had been a week or so, but then I got the notice that my video would be deleted in a few days and I'd be getting a copyright strike. Now, I deleted the video myself to avoid the strike, and I just gave up on the series. Well, I mean, you'd think I would at that point, but instead I did a bit more research, and it turns out these problems affect more YouTubers than I thought. The bigger channels just tend to make it look easy, right? One of my favorites, Hello Future Me, he had every video he had ever done on Avatar taken down, and he's a story writing and analysis channel, right? Like, if fair use doesn't cover that, then it doesn't cover anything. So at this point, I realized that YouTube doesn't care too much about its creators. I mean, realistically, why would it, right? Like, there are so many, and as a corporation, it makes sense to side with the party in a dispute that isn't disposable and can also pay you. So it sucks, but it is what it is. I kept researching, and it turns out that there's a lot of tricks that people have to use to stay under the radar. Different studios handle their content differently. Some just demonetize you but let your work stay up, for instance, which would be fine. One thing that I learned is that a lot of these channels aren't as safe as I thought they were. There are tons of tricks, but they only last so long, and if an actual moderator stumbles upon you, well, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know. Someone like Giga seems to be doing fine, so maybe when I grow more and more and get more experience, I'll be able to tell you. Because I do plan on growing more. I mean, yeah, I got shut down hard, and it hurt, and it was disappointing. Not to mention that while I was researching, I found people who had done what I was doing in a way, and I felt that it could be viewed as better than my idea in some ways, and theirs was more consumable and streamlined. My self-esteem took some hits, but I'm a musician. I'm used to endless grinding and hitting wall after wall, and what this means is that I just have to reinvent myself and my content. So hopefully in a way that doesn't see the past investments that I've made get put to waste. I still plan on making videos as a hobby, but they won't be in the format of a series going over a series for the most part, right? You're gonna see a more precise tackling of my ideas on the themes I think are present in a show and my thoughts on specific stories and characters. What's that going to look like? I don't know yet, but I know it's coming. AniTube is going to be harder than I thought, and I already thought this grind was going to be insane, but yeah, I'm here for it. So this was a little rant to the air since my sub count is still below 200 at the time of me making this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you understand why nothing came out following my initial announcement. Like it if you like it, share it if you share it. The second one didn't make as much sense, but whatever. Follow me on Twitter for updates, and I will see you later.